the invasion of Amerika. So I hope you will all, who are going to be watching this VOD a little bit later, video on demand. See, dude, I know the lingo of the moderns. And I'm opening a Coke. So that is good. Let's see here. I'm going to check over before we really get started. Checking over on here and over here to make sure that things are running well. It looks like it. Arno and Crispin have both commented already before the stream starts. All right. We're going to be making some episodes here. Just sort of kind of giving people a minute or two to show up. I think we may be early for what Europeans might expect because time changed here in America did not change yet in Europe, I think. Maybe it's this Sunday or maybe it's next Sunday. I don't know. It's coming up. Okay, and it looks like we have good frames. I think I may have solved my frames problem from last week in other live streams. Okay, well. Yeah, let's make an episode. Welcome back, fellow arms generals. We are invading America. Yes, Amerika. And of course, we are playing Panzer Corps II Axis Operations 1946. Notice the Axis was gone by then. This is a fantasy DLC for Panzer Corps II, as if Germany was winning. And, oh, hey, I'm Gamer1745, if you didn't already know. And I play historically based. Obviously, this is a fantasy scenario, but historically based games and talk about the history and that around them. So, hey, if you're new around here, why don't you subscribe to the channel? Hopefully, I'm earning everybody to lick the like button. It is tasty. And, hey, I'd love your comments. What do you think would have happened had, Germany been able to defeat D-Day and hold the line against Russia and push the Allies out of Italy? What would have happened in 46 or later? All right, well, we are, and as we last left it, I'm just going to do this last sort of turn here, a little bit of it here, ending the Battle of San Francisco. We did that. We're not going to go through this briefing here. You can watch that episode to see that. I just wanted to include the upcoming briefing in this, and there's not a good way, at least that I know, to save in between battles. And I know I talked a lot about invading America before. Do we go up to the Pacific Northwest? Just briefly. I have not, full disclosure, I have not played either of these scenarios, though I have, we'll see in a moment, deployed for the American, or for the other one. Moving north would secure you a bunch of really small ports. San Francisco is a major port, and Seattle, which is a bit bigger of a port. Not bigger than San Francisco. And some shipbuilding capacity. There wasn't really much up there. Rugged terrain. And the only thing is it would allow, of course, is to push up into Canada and then push across the northwest of the United States, which outside of winter would be a reasonably decent advance across process. And hello, Arno, good to have you here. The other option here is Southern California. Now, and we're going to pick Southern California. the important thing here is a major element of United States aircraft production is happening in Southern California. In the late 1920s and 1930s, during the American Depression, uh, a lot of the aircraft companies move out to California because you can function all year round. You don't get and it's very dry comparatively to a lot of places in Southern California is very dry. Sort of like a desert next to the sea to a degree, but not that hot of a desert. So you can fly much of the year round. You can build and do stuff out of doors where, if you're snowed in or if it's raining in some other parts of the U.S., like the Pacific Northwest, it's going to, yeah, once you get everybody inside into a big hangar construction type building, you can do things, but can't go out and fly or whatever safely. So a lot of the aircraft industry moves to California. That is the same reason a lot of the movie industry moved to Southern California back in the 20s, when a lot of the movies were shot out of doors, those sets. And we're talking the silent film era here. And so they would have the studio would just throw up these sort of cheap ass sets out of doors and use natural lighting and whatnot, because lighting wasn't very sophisticated in the 20s. And they didn't care about sound because, hey, it was silent, so you could be doing a bunch of stuff outside and it didn't matter. So a lot of the companies that were based in New York, who owned a lot of theaters in New York, moved their production to Hollywood Land down in Southern California for that reason. And yes, hello Arno over on YouTube. So we're going to be playing the Southern California invasion. So we're going to accept that. And as a game as an analysis here, it is good to have, whether for a base game or for a DLC, it's good to have different paths. So it's replayability, different challenges. All right. Operation Twofold. Good morning, my general. If you are ready, we have our new orders from the Reich Marshal Monstein to review. With San Francisco Bay firmly under our control, phase 2 of the invasion has begun. As you have opted to fight on more open terrain, we have assigned to lead we've assigned to lead what our Japanese friends, I'm reading this badly, friends have coined as Nanshiron 2, or Southern Expansion Doctrine 2. That's sort of what they called, moving down into the Philippines, Dutch East Indies, Singapore and Malaya. That was Nanshinran was the Japanese term for that overall strategic thinking. Instead of pushing either north into the Soviet Union or just continue pushing into China, which wasn't working well for them. While other invasion forces advance north towards Oregon and Washington, it will be up to us to drive the advance southward with the ultimate goal of being complete occupation of Southern California, ending with Los Angeles and San Diego. Now, before we go on, let me talk a little bit. And there is coming out a new DLC very shortly, I think, in just days. That's going to deal for Panzer Corps 2. That's going to deal with things around the Battle of the Bulge, I believe. I haven't yet to look at it. If you're new around here, I do contract work for Slithering/Matrix. I'm not an official employee. I just do contract work, presenting their games on their primarily their Twitch channel, but sometimes their YouTube channel and other things. So yes, I am a paid shill for this game also. So just keep that in mind. Though this I'm just making because I want to. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's not an unbiased playing of it. Now, if science fiction, fantasy, just fiction in general, alternative historical fiction. You need to have a certain level of plausibility with your fiction, okay? And now people can buy into, an alternative history world or a fantasy world or a science fiction world, but to really do it well, you need to construct a functional reality that everybody can buy into, and not because you do a certain suspension of disbelief. So if you were to look at, and as we've talked many times on this channel, there are scenarios that I can see that Germany wins in Europe, shall we say. It's very, very difficult without Germany getting nuclear weapons, them winning globally. But winning in Europe, I can see that happening. Not like in 1944, them throwing out the D-Day invasions and other things like that. It's going to happen earlier and whatnot. And before, hey, argue with me in the just the comments below if you like why that's bullshit. But I can do plausible paths for U.S. victory. I mean, sorry, German victory in Europe. Now, so if we take that as a given for this scenario, Germany is, and especially by 46 or even 47, is never going to have the shipbuilding capacity that the United States has. So even if and now ships, including submarines, but definitely big ships, carriers, battleships, take a long time to build. So that if, say, you have the Germans with their really advanced submarines, that they got just a few out into the water, but they were actually building a bunch of, and had they got them deployed, I don't think would change the outcome of the war because it was already getting to be settled too much. But really would have altered the balance of, say, the convoy battles and whatnot. And I don't know how good it would have been for them versus, initially it would have probably been a shock to the, British and the Americans, the new submarines. And yeah, we can look at combination of air attacks, the Arado Blitz bomber with the Fritz X anti-ship missiles and new high-tech subs going out there, sinking a bunch of, American and British capital ships and whatnot. And then if you're, and it's going to take years, like I say, to build more. But do remember, and I will get, hi Crispin, I'll get to looking at the chat in a moment. If we're looking at, the real plausibility, America had in World War II and in 1945 approximately 130 aircraft carriers operating. Now, one of the stats they showed, that's how many they had during World War II, was actually slightly over. And we lose a couple here and there. So approximately, it might be because we don't, I'm not talking about decommissioned aircraft carriers like the old Langley. We had built a new Langley, and out there, and the old Langley was not classified as an aircraft carrier. It was still operating, the original U.S., American aircraft carrier. It was still, but it's just sort of a, and it wasn't operating with takeoff and landing stuff. It was just operating as like a transport kind of thing or something. So it was still out there chugging around the ocean, but not considered a carrier for World War II purposes. So 130 carriers. So the real likelihood, if anybody is like going, oh, hey, yeah, it's almost about, Germany could have done this and that and the other thing. No, it's just really implausible that even with, like I say, the Arado Blitz bomber, super submarines, yeah, okay, you knock out some of the big fleets, the the stuff. So you're really not going to invade America. But let's just say somehow you kind of do so. You're not going to have, and this whole scenario is predicated on capturing some major British fleet that's turned over to the Germans. You're not going to be able to logistically sustain too many invasion forces. You know, we can see how much difficulty the Allies have, and not just the U.S., because Britain does do a major heavy lift of it, but the Allies have of invading the from D-Day onward in logistically. Now they're moving multiple armies. Now, one of my big complaints about Panzer Corps going back a long ways is that, and you will see, which I do think is addressed in the new DLC, but we do not have a consistent scale. What are, each one of these units that are on the map? What is it? Is it a platoon, company, a battalion? Sometimes it seems to be, it varies as to the scale of the map and the scale of the operations. But for the moment, let's say it's of a decent size. I don't know that you would be able to do both a northern and southern push, like they're saying here in California, because if you're moving stuff, now you can be moving fuel definitely coming out of, the Dutch East Indies, and food out of, Asia instead of from Germany, but obviously all your artillery shells and your tank shells and all that's got to be shipped from Germany, because this would come either overland over Russia, which would be expensive with railway shipping, or which would be easier and better, come down through the Mediterranean, through the Indian Ocean, across the Pacific. So you have all of that difficulty going on. So my commentary, this should be thought of more as a this or that, not which command do we want to do. Okay, I know talking a lot, but that's again what we sort of do around here, is talk about and analyze, histories, including what ifs or just even what actually happened. Before we get ahead of ourselves, though, there's one major obstacle we must contend with: Mount Diablo and its surrounding defensive lines. Primary objective is capture Stockton. Stockton is a port city, and it's a very flat plain in here, and it's sort of rivers, but sort of meandering Dutch style type rivers, Arno. Coming in here, it's a really sort of flat plain, so it does have ocean access. You come in past San Francisco to get to Stockton. Bonus objective: capture flanking cities. It will show elite objective is capturing Mount Diablo. Standing between us and the flat open California Central Valley are the Oakland Hills and Mount Diablo. These natural terrain barriers form quite effective checkpoints with little surprise America's defensive line. Once we get through to Stockton, our breakthrough will be complete. How exactly we get there is your prerogative. Prerogative. That word. While we could focus our efforts down on a single route of least resistance, overwhelm the American defense lines in a very localized sector, the wider our advances, the more opportunities we have to capture additional resources. As soon as our flags raised over Stockton, I'll pass word of our success back to the Reichsmarschall. Victory to Germany. Okay, now, yeah, we're over the deployment limit. Let's see. Okay, we have received an unexpected gift, mein General. While the Yamato was a beached wreck, apparently the Japanese salvage crews determined that one of its turrets was still operational, using extensive dock facilities. We captured it in San Francisco Bay, and there was a lot. They have been able to remove the turret from the Yamato and refit it on one of our damaged Landkratzers. It appears the indomitable fighting spirit of the Yamato will continue to join us in our campaign ahead, although I am not sure they will appreciate the design we have given this one to the kind of Landskasser Reichsminister. Speer is following the naming convention, apparently started with the mouse and the Ratte as christened this vehicle. The Meerschwingen? The Meerschwingen? I don't know what that means. Maybe we have some German speakers. You could translate that. I'm sure I'm butchering the thing. Okay. So that sort of sets up. So we have this big monstrous vehicle, even though it looks like it takes up more than one hex. It just does take up one. Okay. Let's see. Address the chat now. I've downloaded the Dune series from 2000-ish. Yes. Everybody out there, we have a Discord server. Maybe Arno wants to throw up in, yes, and I see hi over on Rumble, throw up in the chats a link to our Discord server. And we've reinstituted Friday evenings European time movie night. And yesterday's movie night was the original David Lynch Dune. And we will continue doing other movies, so you might want to join us and hang out with us for that. And we did watch that. And I have seen the 2000s, that version of miniseries of Dune, and I thought it was okay. And I've not seen I sort of didn't want to see the first one because I knew there was going to be two. At least that was the plan, and I wanted to make sure it was good before I, shall we say, wasted my time on something that was end up going to be bad. And I think so. I have not watched the latest Dune. I don't know if I'm going to watch it now that there's part 2, because I guess it's doing well enough that there is a plan to do a part 3 of a Dune. So but of the two that I've seen, and I've also read the original book, I do like the David Lynch the best. What did you see Dune again last time I saw it? Was a little kid. Yes. Okay. Hope you'll play the Allies in 40 trying to stop the Germans with this cool game. Well, they don't yet have a Allies playthrough version for Panzer Corps. Arno. I think the D-Day, or the not D-Day, the Battle of the Bulge stuff may be able to be played from the Allies, so we're hoping that. And hello, Chunk Ka, or CCAA, I'm not sure. Hi, I still like to play Panzer. Oh, yeah, Panzer Corps 1 is great. Both games have some issues which hurt immersion. I still prefer the old one with some mods, but the new one has more interesting hero system. Oh, yes, and also transportation and supply, which the old one is lacking. Yes. Guinea pig, really. Not sure what exactly you're referring to there. And then hello, Beam Slant, and thank you for posting the link to the Discord server, so you can hang out with us at times, whether movie night, and of course Extreme Finger, who is also with us for the movie night last night. Oh, guinea pig. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yes. Okay, I gotcha. Chunk. I gotcha. Now I gotcha what you mean. Okay, so guinea pig. And so this is not a Ratte 1000 or whatever. I guess this is a super bigger guns. The Yamato had 18-inch guns. I don't think that's what was proposed for the German. Well, I actually brought it up here on Wikipedia. No, it's. No, I'm just clicking over to the wrong. Yeah, I did sort of. What was main guns? 280 millimeters. I'm pretty sure that's smaller. But this one also has these look like verbal wind guns here, but 2 mouse turrets in the rear, and not some of the smaller turrets that was proposed. So it's 2 mouse turrets, right? Okay, so This is our battle. Now what I'm going to do here is load. Come over here. And I'm going to load this because I had to reduce down the size of my force and reorganize things, and I didn't want to bore the hell out of you. Now, you may have noticed I'm not playing on the standard level of difficulty. I'm playing one easier. And this is continuing a game that I started way back with the first Axis operations that's dealing with Spain. One of the reasons I went to a slightly easier version of the game, well, there's two reasons. One, I just sort of wanted to play through it without a great difficulty. But when you were playing with the Allies and the Spanish nationalists, which you didn't control, we'd go in and make stupidly suicidal attacks, and then get replacements for their forces, and that was coming off the base prestige for sort of, for some reason, a combined prestige between the nationalist and sort of German expeditionary force. So it was wrecking my prestige and being very hard to play that way. So I did that. So because I am playing on the easiest settings, the goal is not in 19 turns to win. The goal is in 19 turns to get both the bonus and the elite objective. So if you're going, yeah, gamer, you're playing it easy. Yeah, not the easiest mode, but one bit easier. And yeah, and I've lost completely lost some units during the time, but you'll see a lot of these guys are now not lost. We've got heroes in most all of these, units to the max 3, and units that have been around just because we've continued to upgrade the vehicles over time are mostly 5-star, and have other traits. So it's really a sort of a super army here. So that's why I'm going with we need to get the bonus and the elite objectives to sort of balance that out within it. It's land ship. All right, so we will end the deployment phase. Yes, I want to end it. There's one hero, a river crossing, and I have no rivers here, so I didn't need to deploy it with anybody. Right, and so all I've done is sort of test and get to a couple initial sort of attacks here. Not even completed the first turn. Before getting this set up a few moments ago before starting. All right. We had to go down in force, and I decided to give up my air attack, but I've left aircraft to deal with what I'm expecting to be a large force of American air power. I'm not sure that it will be, but by any means. But let's. Okay, artillery in this sort of southern. We got this guy. We got him here, and that's sort of it. We can bring down some artillery from the north, I guess, but we'll deal with this 76 millimeter anti-tank gun. Well, they sort of kind of survived. Now, maybe I should have used these guys as right there. Yeah. More we can erase. Oh, okay. Yeah. The thing he's going, well, be able to shoot at this. Well, let's. This also reduces their entrenchment. I want to actually see if I can hit Hayward this turn as well. Okay. Ah. Be an overrun. Okay, so let's come down here with the Azul. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we got ambushed with mines. See, there's a lot of things I haven't played here yet. Okay, we have more mines and anti-tank. Okay, you guys are pioneers, so you should be able to take out this minefield very easy. Minefield gone. Let's not overextend just yet. We're going to have anti-tank supporting in case there's some tanks to come after my infantry there. Some more anti-tank that they're coming after. Some of these guys. And hello, Pale, what is that? Campeg? Oh, nope. Oh, we got a bot over on, Twitch there. A polite bot, but still a bot over on Twitch. I don't know if you want to go squish him. Now, this guy is classified as a tank, but you can see it has sort of an artillery ranged thing. We need to watch out for minefields. Artillery up there, we got these guys here. Hmm. So these hills are a bit rough to move. Some transport through. I don't want him to get too slowed up here. He's only going to have one shot. Ah, there we go. There's some both aircraft and anti-aircraft. He could move to there. But this guy would have been better to move him up earlier. Would have been good. We could have devastated a few more units. Okay, well. Oh, let's also make sure so I don't forget. We did see that one. Okay, that covers our air attacks in that area. That guy protected. He's going to have a pretty big area of coverage as it is. Right. Okay, well. Um, oh, forcing a withdrawal. Okay, so we have mines there. Good that we're spotting that. And spotting that. Okay, so, oh. Urban Legend, level 2. Coast defense improved there. Right, well. Now we've got these tank destroyers up here. And we're going to hit them with our big howitzers. Oh, okay, we got a fort that can do artillery firing there. That'll be a pain. But it looks like we can move up. Hmm. Put that down, I think. Okay, we've got that big artillery piece, those artillery pieces, that. Okay, we're going to send you to the north here. Really hit, might as well shoot. Some of it with anti-aircraft. Fire. Bit more there maybe. You guys. What? He's a provocateur. Okay, we'll risk getting you deployed to there. You come to here. Right. Well, a bit of our dream of pushing into... Oh, we'll fully take this out this time. Oh, we got a second shot. That's right. He has double shot. No, that's not. I want the artillery piece. Okay, well, yeah, I guess it's the best move there. Here, well, we can, I don't know. I think we will use this as ground attack. Maybe, oh, hello. Okay, well, I guess we're not. They'll be able to shoot at us next turn, but that's it. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry units going through here. 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3 up there. So these guys, and we have small cities and fortified lines going along there. Dublin coming through here. Like I said, we have 4 for the south. Coming through here, we've got 3. Yeah, I guess we will head north with this guy. There we go. Okay, that's what I did. Right here, let's set the bombers even more. Okay, well, we can come here. Push back on that a bit. Yeah, it looks like this tiger may be the best way to... deal with this fast. Okay. Now, okay, well, that's a bit of a help. we're going to let these other troops and artillery deal with these guys here. There we go. Do you still have any movement left? No. This guy, no, 6 cents. Right, okay. We'll allow him to come up front like this. We'll allow these pioneers to get out in front. They'll have anti-tank support and artillery support from the Calliopes. Don't worry, we will take Hayward soon, if not this turn. Even take it with our artillery, yay. Okay, now we can come after take down the fire. Oh, fighter coverage is down. Hey, MMDB. From across the Pacific with the Japanese help. And that's how the scenario goes. Okay, so we've dealt with that air power. I know we still have some of this air power up here, but we're gonna keep on pushing. Alright, let's move you up here. Oh, we've got some good choice targets here. More of a traffic jam than anything else. Okay, we will do this. No overrun, damn. Oh well. Hey, folk, how you doing? Yes, we have a Horton fighter, the Geo 229A. That's an overrun. Now we can see about attacking again. Let's see here. Right, well. That's a nice overrun. This we can get to all the way up touching if we want to. Now this big guy here. Okay, so we can make it to there. Now this can come to here. Boom or boom. We're gonna go after the jumbos here. Love how the mouse turrets also look the same way as the big turret too. That's cool. Why are there so few infantry? Well, well, I don't know. We got. I'm definitely heavy in the armor and the artillery, but we've got 4 infantry units there, 3 here, and 4 down here. So it's somewhat balanced, at least for this game. Pioneers could take those mines out. You can also take out those in the city pretty damn well. All right. This guy here. Okay. You come there. Hopefully, yeah. Need something of an overrun capability here. Okay. Let's see about moving you up to here. Okay, that gives us a pretty good look along that route. Good, and gives us a lot of air cover. You can come up to here, kill that. Overrun to here. Now we can move you up to here. Still strike there. You've already fired. You have not. You can come up here and fire. That's why I like this guy, because he's another army. Assault unit. Well, I guess we're going to walk across the hills with you. You guys can come up and take the city down. Hello, Rhaegar. No, we're on the west coast out here. This is California. Okay, so like here, like we were having, it was a bit of a traffic issue here. Trying to get all these guys through the mountain pass or the hills. That should still cover that guy. Jag tigers. Yeah, it is, but you gotta understand, Rhaegar, there are only so many English cities. So, we have Portland, Oregon, and we have Portland, Maine. Okay, one's up in, on the northwest coast of, the U.S. up in Maine and in Oregon. And the other's up in the northeast coast up in Maine, and we've got, all kinds of towns, repeated names going everywhere. I don't know if I'm going to bomb my own house. The house that I grew up in was built back in the 1930s, so it was there during World War II. To supply such a large mechanized force across the U.S. submarines would have a field day. Absolutely, folk. And before you got here, I talked about even if you sort of could plausibly sort of like, here's how this all would have worked. Okay, I think we will risk moving to here and staying in the truck. How this all would have possibly worked. And there would have been huge logistical problems. Oh, no, I'm going to undo that. I didn't see that I left this guy. It's a little bit for the prestige 50, but I just don't need them to have the intelligence behind us. Good reason to go back and watch the start of the episodes when it comes up when I talk about the logistics there. Wouldn't Germany and Japan improve ASW and murder U.S. subs? Okay. I've been reading more and more about subs in the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. Japan has very, very poor electronical warfare during the whole war. Their late war ships, or subs, and ships, are mostly using reverse engineered German technology, meaning they get either examples of the German technology or they get plans from Germany, but not copy them slavishly in the idea of, parts compatibility, but take that technology and make it push it through the Japanese manufacturing process, kind of thing, if you will. I believe the I-400 and the I-401, those are the two big super, and there's a third that was completed, I think, but not actually deployed, I think. But the two big carrier submarines that the Japanese had that would carry 3 aircraft. They had a bunch, including, Britain before the war starts has at least one, submarine that carries an airplane. Americans briefly have a sub well before the war starts that carries an airplane. Both of those, I think, are decommissioned by the time the start of the war. The big super sub that the French have, the Surcouf, that have the 2 big cruiser-based guns on it. They also carry a really small sort of World War I type style little aircraft that you sort of take out and assemble on the deck. And launched that way with a catapult, just as a little spotting aircraft. So it's not unusual to have a submarine carrying an aircraft. So before the war starts, Japan has a fair number of these single aircraft, submarines that carry a single aircraft, and at least one of the ones that I've recently, in the last week or so, saved an image of that made it to Germany was an aircraft carrying sub. I think it didn't have the aircraft with it because it made it to Germany. I think it's being used as a supply run. And like I was going to say, the big I-400 and the I-401 are actually using German-made periscopes. So they want really good periscopes for these submarines, and they get German ones that are made in Germany. There were a few, and they actually had a medal for these guys. There were a few blockade runners, as they're called, that the Germans had that would primarily go from somewhere in Europe over to Asia and back, that were ships. One of them famously goes through the Straits of Gibraltar, through the Suez Canal, and they fool the Allies into thinking that it's some other vessel, from some other nation, and that they have, mixed crews with people pretending. I don't remember if it was a neutral or if it was a Commonwealth. They were actually fooling it into thinking. And others are, so they're using sort of disguised ships that are blockade runners. And of course, both the Germans and the Japanese are sending submarines back and forth carrying high priority. It could be gear like the periscopes, or examples of German jet engines, or things like quinine or other drugs that Germany wants, or other rare earth mineral type things that Japan has access to in a reasonable abundance and Germany does not. And even a submarine loaded with it on it would be significantly useful to Germany. So they are doing some of that. So Japan would only have ASW that Germany would have, and it would be behind Germany, not just because Germany is the one that developing it, but it would also be that you're going to be either retrofitting it to pre-existing, you're going to need to manufacture, either if you're producing it up in Germany, you're going to send it to Japan, or you're going to be manufacturing it in Japan and then retrofitting it to already existing ships. Or if you're putting it on the new vessels, you have the build time of the vessel. So it's going to delay that considerably. Now, Germany is doing all kinds of developments during the war. I don't notice significant, and please take my words carefully here, development in anti-submarine warfare by the Germans. They are coming up with some early versions of anechoic coating, I believe, for some of their late model submarines. And anechoic is, sound, ana against, sort of like a rubberized type elements into submarines, which the Americans really aren't doing yet. They are putting stealth coatings onto things like the snorkels to have less of a radar return. They're putting radar detectors on top of the snorkels, so that, because when you're running a snorkel, you can't see or hear anything unless you're going super slow. Because the Germans have a problem, and they fixed this post-war in America, and presumably German too in a modern sense, that if you're going fast through the water, underwater, with your periscope deployed, I'm not sure if it fully breaks the periscope, but it definitely, and I have to reread this, it definitely knocks your periscope out of alignment so that you can no longer use it to plan torpedo attacks. Meaning that, when you're trying to figure out the degrees of angle and read off the periscope from your ship for the enemy submarine, that's all gone to whack. I mean, it just doesn't work anymore. So you have to move slowly through, like you normally do for battery speeds, through the under the water, at least for the German. So the Germans, so when the Germans are using their snorkels, and the Japanese also, like the I-400s, 400 and 401, they have either also imported from Germany snorkels or copies of the German snorkel system added to those big submarines, and they're added, and you can sort of tell it when you look at the pictures. They weren't. I'm pretty sure they're added from reading, as opposed to original part of the construction. But you're both deaf and blind, so you can't use your periscope because you're going too fast through the water. It's a delicate instrument. You're getting buffeted by too much wave, so you can't see anything, and you can't hear anything because it's so noisy. You can't hear stuff. So early on, the Germans were using the snorkels, and so if you don't, you might just sail too near a ship that, hey, there's a snorkel going on there, because they're going that fast to create a decent wake, or aircraft seeing a snorkel, and then the Allied, particularly airborne radar, is getting good enough that you got to get a lot closer than you do with a surface submarine. But if you get close enough, you can get radar returns off of the snorkels. So the Germans would know that they're being attacked only once the first depth charges or whatever is being dropped on them. So they make a little little antennas up there that pick up what they believe, not always correctly, what they believe the frequencies of the radars that the Allies are using. So as soon as they're painted with radar from presumably most likely an aircraft, they will they can shut down their engines and dive. So there's a lot of limitations to their capabilities, but they're probably the ones doing the most advanced anti-submarine warfare developments. The Americans always have the best torpedo computers. Have a great torpedo that they use many, many years after the war, but have firing pin problems, depth control problems, and which is related to the firing of them, magnetic problems that just aren't working. But once they figure those out, the Mark 14 gets used into the 60s or later as a primary U.S. Torpedo, and the Americans even capture, because they captured some submarines. I forget, I think it becomes the Mark 18 or I think it's the Mark 18 or Mark whatever, I forget. The Americans capture some of the German, electric torpedoes. They're slower, but they're very quiet. And the Americans, because the American torpedo design place up in Rhode Island knows best. So they improve the German design. No, they think they improve it. Now, the original German design is still better than the improved American design of the German design, and there are teething problems with that. But the Americans do some of the best submarines, but not the most stealthiest. So Germans are better on the stealth. Americans are much better with their radars, both airborne and surface. And the Americans, by the end of the war, they're using both air search radars and surface search radars on their submarines, so that they have, and in mid-war they have them on their fleet submarines, so that they can, oh hey, there's aircraft up there, we better dive. And it's not necessarily like good radar to know what, how many or just how far away or just whatever, but it's just like, oh hey, air search radar going, there's aircraft, shut down, dive. So the Americans are doing pretty good. So I don't know that the Germans would have that great of a benefit for ASW, um, as you might think. And what is? I assume China, for some reason, willingly helps Japan with the invasion. The Chinese factories are turning stuff, which helps. Yeah, this obviously. Well, this is based off of it, and I have not played it. This whole 1946 scenario is based off the alt history versions of the 1945 Axis Operation DLC. I played through the historical path, meaning Germany's losing. There is a path that if you achieve, go through your missions and you're winning your missions, Germany is winning in 1945, and actually I think they start some in 44 thing. So Russia's defeated, at least. And I don't know what's going on with China. I don't know that it's really thought about much. So that's the idea. And the Germans are only able to get into America is because they've captured a large element of the British fleet. Not the American fleet, but captured it. So both a merchant fleet and warships. Well, we're going to keep the live stream going, of course, but this is going to be the end of this episode. Come back next time and see how, I know we're only in turn 2, but see if we can get our objective of not only winning the scenario, but get both the elite and the bonus goals here. So thanks, everyone. See you next time for even more, more Hearts of, well, no, not Hearts of Iron, more historical wargaming. Thanks, everyone. Okay, we're going to also save this here. So if we need to come back to it. Okay, I remember it depends on difficulty level. If you have 300 prestige in the game, assumes you did well enough, you can continue an offensive operation. Yeah, something like that. I played through, and this is a continuation of playing through the historical path of the Axis operations through to 1945, in which Germany is losing, but we're going to continue this. So, yes. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals, or if it's just welcome, hey, I hope I earn your subscription. And everyone, I hope I'm earning you to lick the like button. And I want to thank Tim, Strongarm, Niagara, Timothy, Stratoyjet, Gary, Garrett, Marcus, Folk, who is in chat right now, and of course the great Hoffmanator for support over on Patreon. But like I say, just everyone else, if you just like the video and post a comment, that helps so much with the algorithm. And views are down on YouTube, fine, whatever. People, some of the creators think that it's YouTube, and not just like, with me, views are down in a lot of places. Think it's because of the election year, or if it's other reasons. But the reason I ask people to post comments, like the videos, watch the videos, even, with the sound off, watch it multiple times, with, alt tabbed out to some other window. It really helps because I feel I'm on a mission to, spread historical lessons, not just history lessons, but lessons from history. What history teaches us that we can use to we as a society make better judgments in future. And I know this is a silly DLC that's a fantasy thing, Germany winning World War II and all that, but still we talk about all kinds of stuff. So I feel it's an important mission beyond just being fun to watch. So that's why I really ask you guys who are watching out there, if you care to support that mission, to, like I say, like the videos, comments help a lot, and tell a friend, whatnot. So yes, all right, so I believe we have done all we're going to do this turn. Yep, let's end this. They've rebased some aircraft back to their bath. They've gone after our big guy, which didn't do any real damage to it. He's still at 50. He's a big super vehicle here. All right. Tiger 2. Let's bring you up from the rear. Overrun, and since we've already used up our complete amount of movement. One of you has 6th sense, no, but you have sort of double movement here. So he can move in 2 segments, so without bumping into somebody else, he is capable of doing lots and lots of there we go. Overrun capability, and he's vigilant, so he doesn't have to worry about close defense, so he can deal more effectively with infantry units in town. Okay. We are sort of outrunning our artillery effectively. Okay, so you're going to come up here, give them AA coverage. You're going to come up here, be ready next turn. I don't think they're going to counterattack through those hills far enough. Okay, so they're basically covered with some AA effectiveness there. Okay. The one thing I am lacking is good reconnaissance. I've been this unit. I do have a couple of reconnaissance units that are good, but what we're gonna do here is you have fast rebase, so we're gonna rebase you up to here. And then we're going to see about flying you down to here. I just wanted to see what was there, as well as attack this. Some light chaffies get pushed back. Get that far. Okay, well. Well, by doing that, we eliminate the air there. Move up these guys. I don't know, taking them off the roads are going to improve the movement range. But we're going to keep these guys going along the road there. Now in our center here, that's a good hit. He gets 2 shots. But we're going to do that. Boom. Big boom. Big bada boom. Okay, even though he has... Oh wow, this can move all the way up to there? What do you... Wow. Don't know that I want to move them all the way up to there, but... What are we going to use for reconnaissance? Well... Yes, he's going to move up and take a look around. So we've got that. Well, I don't want to move this guy fully forward to the front. We're going to move him up to there, give that good anti-tank cover. Well, he can move to here. That'll be good. So he has both anti-tank and let's see, we can move these guys up to I'm going to be a little cautious about going there. So we're going to get him up to here. At least get that covered, that big target. But we're also going to come... let's move you. You're fast. Rebasing up to here. Be about to him down. Thought I would have been facing better American air power. My only real complaint is I probably would have swapped out 1 or 2 of these for ground attack aircraft. Known what week I think it is. be on the roads when we get the chance. I think, well, road may not matter so much for you. Maybe could have done the other a little better. Let's get some of these other aircraft up forward. You also have fast rebasing. I don't want to just fly over here because I bet there's AA guns. So, oh, AA guns here. Well, he's just not going to strike. No damage, but at least he got some airstrikes in. All right, well. Oh wow, this super Pershing here, is that what that is? T-29. Oh, that's another biggie, not a super Pershing. It's another big thing. Didn't do very well. Okay, well. See what we can do down here. One of these weird tank destroyer things, a weasel. Attacking in the hills. There will help him. Okay, let's move you up to here. Traffic. Traffic. So that he's encircled. More traffic jams. Okay, traffic jam just went bye-bye. There we go. Now these other guys are a bit less protected. Overrun, unstoppable, great. Now let's see if we can take this guy out. Overrun. Not an overrun, but alright, so we've pushed very far forward. We still have to take this Mount Diablo before getting to Stockton. There's not a whole lot of turns. Fire at the aircraft. Fire at the aircraft. There we go. Come up to the heights up here. Near here. 5, 6. Engineer on engineer attack. Well, if we can keep this offensive going. Okay, well, let's move quite far forward. Well, let's move you up to here. Get some air cover and some observation. This guy we will risk here. Could run into mines. Don't need to get, well, okay, yeah, we're out in front of it, but oh well. We do have the fortified line, we found them. Very good. They do have some fighter protection there. And by getting them up on the hills, to cover that larger area. And these guys will come to here. So, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in hard. Now, we've got this guy who does 2 attacks in 1 turn, and it looks like we can maybe take out both of those air units fully. There we go. Very useful. Okay, now do we have mines up here? I don't know. That's okay, well. Killing and suppressing a lot of that unit there. These guys can come to here. And not take that out. How interesting. Okay, well, we can do that. We're going to move our big land ship. Yeah, like I say, I love how these turrets, I mean, obviously the one mouse turret couldn't have fired, but yeah, You come and take the town. Aircraft. Move you up on the heights to give greater coverage around. Okay, up to there too as well. That's very good. You fly over here. Shoot this down. Boom. What else do we want to shoot down? Got to worry a little bit about that aircraft, but not. We never took this town. We can with this. Come in. Oh, you can come up and deploy and actually attack there. Very good. He has fast deploy, so he can deploy and attack. You can come up here. You have anti-air coverage. Yeah, I want the anti-tank in the lead over the infantry right now. We're going to have some open terrain up here. He's just going to fly air cover over here. He's going to fly air cover over here. That's only getting to a little bit. That's getting to that one, but not that one. Okay. And just in case something is coming after this big group, but I don't want to be close enough that he gets hit, so we'll just do that. You come up to there. There we go. Still got a lot of fights that are Mount Diablo supposedly fortified. A lot of fortified rings here. Lots of difficulty coming up ahead. And that again. Okay, Tiger 2. The 96 is Survivor, Heroic Defense Level 1. Now, the reason he's getting all these people here is he has a provocateur. So I think both those tank units were coming to attack him. But since he's right next to it here, he is the one that is attacked. And I think readiness strikes first when defending. See, I have spent. This is a bit unfair. I will admit that's why I'm doing the bonus levels as well as the elite, objectives. So this guy here, he has a 0 slots guy, so he doesn't take up any slots instead of the 7 that he's supposed to. He has Provocateur, so adjacent enemies attacking other friendly units will attack this unit instead. So you only want to put this into a unit that is going to be effective at it. And he has Readiness, so he strikes first when defending. So however much... Oh, well, okay, that worked. But however much this guy could attack and possibly do a lot of damage to him, this guy strikes first and guts him. So that's part of the strategy there. Now we can, let's see, we could shoot with this guy. He could shoot to there. Let's see, do we have any? Oh, yeah, he's way back here. Okay. we found a minefield, and what is Wolverine? Okay. Well, that was a Pershing. Okay, well, he can come up here on the hill. That, I'm not that worried about that M3 thing. Think about this Wolverine. Well, what we can do is come up here with this. Reduces that's effectiveness down. We'll do the destroy 2 first. That's most likely to get me an overrun. This could be just like that, just only all but one of them, so it's not an overrun, so you don't get another. Well, it does move because he can move twice, not twice the distance, just move and then move again within his operational range. Let's come down to this flank. Might have been something back there to shoot at. Find out. No, it doesn't look like it. So he's going to come up, blast them pretty heavily. No, no overrun. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, I was relying upon an overrun there. He's going to come out here. Ooh. Oh boy. Okay. T-34, the American one, that's a heavy. That's a 105. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, if we build this right, if we do, obviously that's not a good idea to attack there. Hmm. Go into the town, give air coverage, or anti-air coverage to all of that. You can come up to here, get anti-tank coverage for that. Yep, stuck to the roads, driving down them or walking down them. Well, we will risk moving up. You're so far to the rear. We're going to need the infantry getting in through some of these things here. We're going to fire at the minefield. Just try to blow as much of it up as possible. So will you. Just erase the anti. Oh, not quite. Okay. Boom. Now that could get all 3 turrets to fire. It didn't even kill him. We'll just use that. I'm pretty sure there'll be somebody in that town. Let's come up and find out. No, apparently not. Oh, they're behind the town, though. Okay, there we go. Okay, so far, we are 3 of 4 for our bonus. The 4th one is down here in Dublin. Far forward as possible. Come up and get out of your trucks to be ready for air attacks or whatever. I still have that aircraft left, so let's fly you over here. There we go. Aircraft no longer a problem. You take the airport. That awful big silly thing, but hey. We found a... Where are my mountain troops? No. Pioneers, they're useful, yes. Where are my mountain troops? Will they get left behind, or... Pioneer... Blue Division... Oh, there they are. They're in town. Okay. They'll be useful. I'm taking that. Oh, we come back. Yeah, they'll get support from both of those. And we found more minefields. Yay! Yeah, it just doesn't look like a good idea to attack that. Oh, long-range anti-aircraft artillery. Well, we survived. That's good. Well, we're going to reinforce him. I think we moved up like all the infantry we can. Oh, we could fire here. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know of a good reason why not to. I mean, I see good reasons why not to attack it. Oh, they've knocked us down by one. Okay. Counter battery fire. Now, down here. Well, a little bit of an attack, it looks like. He could really use reinforcements. That's good. Well, let's cut him. What good big heavy artillery do we have here that can shoot him? There we go. Now if we move this guy in here, he's going to return fire. You take out the minefield. Some of these forts are going to be really difficult to get through without completely mangling my forces. Oh, try to do the ballet so that it is its most effective. Here. These guys can come down here, clear this minefield. There we go, minefield no longer a problem. Wow. Well, let's try this. Overrun. He's already fired. Okay. Right at this thing. Got these up here. So, take him out. I think we're going to have to slow down our advance a little bit. Oh, very good. It was worth a little bit of damage that we had. Rained him down heavily. Ah, it was a minor hit. But that's good. Well, he retreated to fight again another day. pushing around both flanks very rapidly. Another big monster of a gun here. They don't have close defense protection, so if I move them in here, these infantry can get him. So we're going to come up here. That wasn't quite what I was hoping for. You can come up and deploy, so that would be useful. You can come up and deploy. You can just move up. Well, we have some fighter coverage for this guy, but we're going to add that to it. All right, well, let's get you up here as far as we can. Anybody else we're leaving behind? Doesn't look like it. Oh shit, those guys really got math. Okay, now. Okay, minefields cleared. These guys can come, but they're going to be attacked by them. Oh, that's working as a... Ow, big boom. Another big boom. Well, they still exist. So we'll take that out with a little help with his friends. And they're gone. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Hoping to take them fully down. Not as good as I was hoping. Okay, well. Oh, should have used my artillery better. Well, we're gutting this one pretty heavily now. Oh, okay, well, they're down. Get into the trenches. Good. Using artillery really in this game gives you great advantages. But you can get a bit jammed up. He's up high now, so he'll get a greater area of advantage to shoot with his anti-aircraft guns. But he also has anti-tank defense and anti-infantry defense here with the artillery. Yeah, you can come here. You're gonna get okay, that looks pretty good. And I think it's time to end this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the video, of course, and see you next time for more historical gaming. And let's save this and continue. All right. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745, and we are pushing into the United States in California here. Any of these guys, yeah, he can shoot, he can, so yeah, he might as well shoot. They're sort of mutually supporting each other for artillery use. They could use an anti-tank gun up here. Okay, let's be... Okay, there we have their base there. So let's move forward. And then we can move up here and protect all those aircraft. Or not aircraft. Tanks with the aircraft. Yes, you did. Okay. All right, that looks good. Now, we've got a fair amount of artillery here. Oh, there, bye-bye. Why do the Americans have to be so stubborn and fight so hard? Can't they just, like, give up on everything? They went off into the forest? Oh, bummer. Well, nothing can get them. Oh, this guy can. Sort of. Okay, but he's out of movement. Oh, desert. There. So we've achieved all of the bonus objectives. These are some chaffies. Oh, they're going to be easy to take down. Oh, I was smart not to rushing too far forward. Ah, anti-infantry veteran level 1. Very good. That. Oh, hello, tank destroyer. How are you doing today? Are you going to destroy some tanks? We're going to reinforce you. You do not have close defense, so you're not going to be... good there. We've got to take that. That's probably going to be very hard. Revenue tank. Yes, we do have that, but you're way back there and you're slow. Okay, well. Well, our big behemoth. He might be useful in taking that up there, so we're going to move him through these low hills. Oh, you need to be elite reinforced. You are going to come here and give everywhere. Okay, so those are all pushed up as far as they can. We might need these guys in these mountains as well, so we'll move them that way. Get up there! There we go. Oh, fighter coverage. Oh, I see it down up there. Oh shit! No, I'm gonna weasel out. That's just too devastating. Okay, so they've got anti-air up there, so we're not gonna move any air over there. We're gonna reinforce him. Yeah, no, that was just too bad. Too bad. Okay, so we're gonna have a hard time taking that mountain. There's a lot of forces there. And we've got 8 turns to do that and still get to Sacramento. There's probably going to be a lot more forces there. Okay. Yeah, lots of bombers and whatnot coming. Okay. A little bit of weaseling out. See, we're going to need a lot of infantry here. Coming up. We're right next to these other guys. Okay, well, wasn't really the plan. Guess we can move him up. Okay, well, now here I think we can use our forces effectively. Let's bring him up here. He has 2 attacks. He's down. He's down. And he's down. You remove those landmines. He came up and attacked this big guy, and he killed him with his anti-tank effectiveness. Well, as close as I can get. And attack with our infantry. Right. And yeah, you take out some of this. Artillery as well. Okay, so we got this big old thing here. One of fives. The anti-aircraft gun is looking like no damage. Well, let's time over 105 real quick. Oh, good. Well, I missed running into those mines. That's good. More mines up there. I think we could leave them be, maybe. Hmm. We're going to reinforce those guys. Not terrible, but not quite the result I wanted. We'll get you up near the front. All right. Well, let's see how this goes. Yeah. But at least it survived. Yeah, let's come up to here. There's just a lot of options to do. I'm not sure which ones first here. They're gone, and we can reinforce them, guys. Okay. Okay. Boom. And boom. All right. Well, I don't want to get these episodes too long. Sometimes I do that. So I want to thank everybody here who's made it this far in. And of course, if you haven't already, can please like the videos. And if you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel. Love to see you around more often. And that way I'll know if you're around. Please say hi. It helps with the algorithm. It helps keep letting me know who's interested in what. And you can tell me why you don't like Panzer Corps content, or why you want more of it. See you next time for more, yes, more historical gaming. All right, let's save this here. Okay, LP, turn 10, right. Well, I think we'll end this today. I want to thank Rhaegar, Folk, Arno, going up the chat here, MMDB, Beam Slam, Chunk, Extreme Fingerer, or Jan. Who else has been here with me today? I think that's about it. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. We will do more Hearts of Iron for sure coming up, but I just sort of felt like changing it up for today. Not sure what we'll be doing next week. Maybe I'll get things set up to continue the Hearts of Iron series that we have been doing. So, and hello everybody over in Rumble. It says there's 9 people over there. So tomorrow, Allies, very possibly. Big problem is, Arno, not everybody has Allies 6-7, but maybe we'll just play 6-7, a mix of Germany and Amerika, at least a little bit of it. Because a lot of people have Germany, so we'll see about doing that tomorrow, Arno, for sure. And yeah, see ya, Beam Slam.